Good evening ulit. Tonight, continuation natin yung tongue diagnosis made easy. Dito na tayo sa tongue body shape. The shape of the tongue includes the tongue size, physical shape, whether there are cracks on the surface, and the length and mobility of the tongue. So tandaan po natin, pag sinabi natin shape of the tongue, kasama po dito yung size ng tongue, yung physical shape, yung presence ng crack on the surface, yung kahabaan niya, and dinidetermine din natin yung kung gaano po kagalaw yung tongue or gumagalaw yung tongue. The tongue shape will mainly reflect whether there is deficiency or excess condition. The tongue shape will give an impression of the condition of qi and blood, as well as the wind and dampness present. The shape of the tongue will also reflect the severity and duration of the imbalance. So, madidetermine din po natin sa shape ng tongue kung gaano po ito ka-severe or gaano po ang duration niya katagal na sa katawan. A pale, wet tongue that is arisen due to yang deficiency is less serious and indicates a shorter duration than if the tongue is pale, wet, and swollen. Sa yang deficiency, ito po yung may pale and wet tongue, pero which is a shorter duration pa lang siya. However, pagkasama na po yung description na namaga na po yung tongue, meaning matagal na po yung yang deficiency. The swelling of the tongue indicates that the yang is chronically weak and therefore not performing its function of transforming and transporting fluids in the body. So yun po yung function ng yang, and which is to transport and transform ng fluid sa body. And kung hindi niya ito nagagawa for a long period of time, yun po nagre-result ng swelling or present of swelling in the tongue. Similarly, sa yin deficiency na nagmanifest with a tongue that is red and without coating is not as serious and chronic as yin deficiency that manifests with a tongue that is red, thin, lacking in coating, and with cracks in the surface of the tongue. So, pag sinabi natin yin deficiency, it is reddish in coloration yung tongue without a coating, which is not as serious naman kung magkaroon na po siya ng nagdipis and with presence of crack on the surface of the tongue, ibig sabihin more serious or mas matagal na po siya nagkaroon ng yin deficiency. Sabi dito, the latter shows that yin deficiency is so deep-rooted and chronic that it is starting to damage the yang body tissue. So nagkakaroon na po ng presence of crack. Ibig sabihin, matagal na po yung yin deficiency niya. Even though the shape of the tongue is highly significant, it is still the tongue color that is the single most important aspect in a tongue diagnosis. So tandaan po natin sa tongue diagnosis, the first thing or the first very important chine-check po natin is the tongue color. Okay? So next we have the thin tongue body. This refers to the thickness and not the breadth of the tongue. Ito po, chine-check natin yung gaano po kakapal yung tongue, or hindi po yung kung gaano po kahaba yung tongue. A tongue becomes thin when there is too little fluid or too little blood to fill the tongue. So, ang cause po ng having a thin tongue, there could be little fluid or little blood, which signifies that there is too little yin in the tongue. This will be due to there being too little yin and blood in general, or there being something that has damaged the yin aspect, which will be some form of heat. So pwede rin na hindi lang dahil konti yung fluid or konti yung blood, but there could also be some form of heat that sinisira niya po yung yin aspect ng patient. So dito, the color of the tongue will be the determining factor sa heat, which malalaman natin kung may presence of heat because of the reddish coloration ng tongue. So here, an example of a picture. The first picture here, tongue is reddish in coloration. So thin tongue po siya na red in color, meaning there is a presence of heat which caused the tongue to be thin. Itong next picture is a thin tongue which is pale, so meaning there is a blood deficiency. A red tongue indicates that there is heat damaging the yin aspect. So ang heat po dito, dinadamage na yung yin aspect, causing the pag-thinning ng tongue. And sabi nga doon sa next picture, yung pale tongue, that there is too little blood naman, which causes the pagnipis ng tongue. A thin tongue is not seen as often as might be expected. So hindi siya gaano kadalas na nakikita. Many clients are blood deficient and yin deficient, but because they also have dampness and phlegm. This result in their tongue being swollen. So, ang tongue, since hindi nga sinasabi dito, hindi siya kadalasan nakikita na thin, instead of this could be seen as swollen because of the presence of dampness and phlegm. This means that the tongue that would otherwise have been thin due to blood deficiency or yin deficiency can be swollen due to the presence of dampness and phlegm. So ito naman po yung i-correlate natin na blood deficient, yin deficient, but because there is swollen tongue, there is presence of dampness and phlegm. Okay, so next, we have the swollen tongue body. It is necessary to distinguish between a tongue that is completely swollen and a tongue where only certain areas are swollen. So here, we have a picture. Yung first picture po, yung left side niya is more swollen than the right. And there is a reddish coloration. Itong next picture, the entire tongue is swollen and pale. A swollen tongue will be the result of too much fluid accumulating in the tongue. So ito po yung isa sa reason kung bakit po nagsiswell ang tongue, because of too much fluid. This, for example, yung dampness and phlegm or accumulation of fluids, which is the opposite of the previous situation where the tongue has too thin due to lack of fluids naman. The accumulation of dampness, phlegm, or fluids in the body is in itself an excess condition. Excess condition will often, though not always, have their root in deficient condition. Yung heat, for example, can force fluid upward to the tongue or condense them so that they transform into phlegm. As with the color of the tongue, the swelling can encompass the entire tongue body or just be limited to a certain area that corresponds to a specific organ or areas of the body. So as we could see, dito nga sa picture, one side of the tongue lang pwedeng mag-swell, or dito sa second picture, the entire tongue naman po yung nagsiswell. So we have here another picture, yung left side nagswell po. Partially swollen tongue body. while an entirely swollen tongue will be due to an excess condition of dampness, phlegm, or accumulation of fluids. A partially swollen tongue can be a sign of a deficiency or an excess condition. So pwede po deficiency or excess condition na reason for the swelling of the tongue. Qi deficiency, qi stagnation, and heat can all result in the swelling of a certain areas of the tongue. The areas of the tongue that most often swell are the tip, yung dulo po ng tongue natin, the central area, yung gitna mismo ng tongue, and the edges of the tongue, yung dito po sa may sides or sa mga gilid ng tongue, which is the area, kung dito sa may side natin, area ng liver. If the sides are swollen, it is important to differentiate between whether it is the whole side of the tongue that is swollen. So, pwede po mag-swell yung whole side, yung kabuuan ng gilid ng tongue. This signifies that there is a liver imbalance. Or just the side in the central area of the tongue. Dito sa may side mismo ng tongue, pero sa may gitna lang, ito naman indicates that there is a spleen qi deficiency. If the swollen sides are also red, this indicates liver heat. So, di ba, nag-swell na siya, plus may reddish coloration, this indicates a liver heat. If they are normal in color, there will be a liver qi stagnation. So, tandaan po natin, swelling on the liver area, which is nasa side ng tongue, this could indicate pag reddish ang color, it is a liver heat. Pero kung nag-swell po siya with a normal color, this would indicate that there is a presence of liver qi stagnation. The reason that spleen qi deficiency can result in swelling of the sides of the tongue, which is an area normally associated with the liver and gallbladder area, is that the spleen area in the middle of the tongue swells. So, pag sinabi natin na spleen qi deficiency naman, yung middle ng tongue, which is nasa area po ng liver and gallbladder, forces the sides of the tongue outward in this area, which is the spleen qi deficiency swelling, which result in there being, makikita po natin or ma-observe natin presence of teeth marks on the side of the tongue. Kaya po natin isa na distinguishing factor, pag-check natin when there is presence of teeth marks on the sides, it could be, or masasabi natin na spleen qi deficiency po yung condition ng patient. If there is phlegm dampness or qi deficiency in the lung, there will be swelling of either the whole of the front third of the tongue or just the side of this area. So pag sinabi naman natin ng phlegm dampness or qi deficiency in the lung, meaning yung front third, yung pinaka-front po ng tongue natin, kung hatiin natin yung tongue into 3 parts, yung front third po, yun po yung area only that swells. So there, pag ganun ang nakikita natin, we could say that there is a phlegm dampness or qi deficiency. It could also be possible na one side lang po yung merong ganun. Na pag natin naman yung tongue, yung front third, kalahati lang yung merong swelling, pwede rin po mangyari ang ganun. Which also we could say that there is phlegm dampness or qi deficiency in the lung. The tip of the tongue can swell when there is a heart imbalances. So pag namaga naman or nag-swell yung tip of the tongue, we could say that there or this indicates a heart imbalances. This will typically be seen if the mental emotional aspect of the heart, the shen, is not in balance. The tip will usually be red in this situation. So ang i-observe po natin or makikita natin ito sa patient, yung tip ng tongue, there is a reddish or first, i-check natin yung coloration which is red and presence of swelling on the tip of the tongue. We could associate this with mental emotional aspect of the heart, yung Shen, or there is an imbalance in the heart. So, thank you po. Hanggang dun lang.
Thank you very much, Sir Dino. Do we have any questions? Okay, no questions. I believe everyone is so overwhelmed with the info. And you can see naman that the presenters are actually talking from experience, diba? So thank you very much, Sir Dino.